The Antonov An-124 Ruslan is a strategic airlift jet aircraft. It was designed by the Antonov Design Bureau in the Ukrainian SSR, then part of the Soviet Union. The An-124 is the world's highest gross weight production cargo aeroplane and second heaviest operating cargo aircraft, behind the one-off Antonov An-225. During development it was known as Izdeliye 400 in-house, and An-40 in the West. First flown in 1982, civil certification was issued on December 30, 1992. In July 2013, 26 An-124s were in commercial service with 10 on order. Development: during the 1970s, the VTA arm of the Soviet Air Force had a shortfall in strategic heavy airlift capacity. Its largest planes consisted of about 50 Antonov An-124 turboprops, which were used heavily for tactical roles. A classified 1975 CIA analysis concluded that the USSR did not match the US in ability to provide long-range heavy lift support. The An-124 was manufactured in parallel by two plants, the Russian company Aviastar SP and by the Kyiv aviation plant Aviant, in Ukraine. Design work started in 1971 and construction of facilities began in 1973. Manufacturing on the first airframe began in 1979. Ultimately this project brought together over 100 factories contracted to produce systems and parts. The first flight took place in December 1982 and the first exposure to the West followed in 1985 at the Paris Air Show. Russia and Ukraine agreed to resume the production in the third quarter of 2008. In May 2008, a new variant of the An-124-150 was announced. It featured several improvements, including a maximum lift capacity of 150 tons. However, in May 2009, Antonov's partner, United Aircraft Corporation announced it did not plan production of An-124s in the period 2009–2012. In late 2009, Russian President Dmitry Medvedev ordered production of the aircraft resumed. It is expected that Russia will purchase 20 new aircraft. Design: externally, the An-124 is similar to the American Lockheed C-5 Galaxy, having a similarly designed fuselage but slightly shorter, a slightly greater wingspan, and a 25% larger payload. Instead of the Galaxy's T-tail, the An-124 uses a conventional empennage, similar in design to that of the Boeing 747. The An-124 has been used to carry yachts, aircraft fuselages, a 109-ton locomotive from Canada to Ireland in September 2001, and a variety of other oversized cargoes. The aircraft is able to kneel to allow easier front-loading, and has an onboard overhead crane capable of lifting up to 30 tons of cargo, and items up to 120 tons can be winched on board. Up to 150 tons of cargo can be carried in a military An-124. It can also carry 88 passengers in an upper deck behind the wing center section. The cargo compartment of An-124 is 36A, 6.4A, 4.4 am, circa 20% larger than the main cargo compartment of C-5 Galaxy, which is 36.91A, 5.79A, 4.09 am. Due to limited pressurization in the main cargo compartment, it seldom carries paratroopers. Pilots have stated that the An-124 is light on the controls and easy to handle for an aircraft of its size. Some airports require pavement protection from the heat and blast effects of the An-124's auxiliary power unit. Operational history: Germany led the recent effort to lease An-124s for NATO's strategic airlift requirements. 2 aircraft are leased from SALIS GmbH as a stopgap until the Airbus A400M is available. Under NATO SALIS program, NAMSA is chartering 6 An-124-100 transport aircraft. According to the contract, An-124-100s of Antonov Airlines and Volga DNEPR are used within the limits of NATO SALIS program to transport cargo by requests of 18 countries: Belgium, Hungary, Greece, Denmark, Canada, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, United Kingdom, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Slovenia, Finland, France, Germany, Czech Republic and Sweden. An An-124-100s are constantly based on full-time charter in the Leipzig-Halle airport, but the contract specifies that if necessary, 2 more aircraft will be provided on 6 days' notice and another 2 on 9 days' notice. The aircraft proved extremely useful for NATO, especially with ongoing operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. United Launch Alliance contracts the An-124 to transport the Atlas V launch vehicle from its facilities in Decatur, Alabama to Cape Canaveral. ULA also uses the An-124 to transport the Atlas V launch vehicle and Centaur upper stage from their manufacturing facility in Denver, Colorado to Cape Canaveral and Vandenberg Air Force Base. 2 flights are required to transfer each launch vehicle. It is also contracted by Space Systems Loral to transport satellites from Palo Alto, California to the Arianespace spaceport in Kaohsiung, French Guiana. Airbus Transport International, a subsidiary of Airbus, has selected another Russian cargo company, Polet Airlines, as designated carrier to the company. Polet expects its 3 An-124-100s will transport astronautic equipment manufactured by EADS, which is Airbus' parent company, and components of the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo. The Rolls-Royce Trent 900 is the only A380 engine that can be transported whole in a Boeing 747F. As of 2013, the An-124 has visited 768 airports in over 100 countries. Significant activities. On May 1987, an An-124 set a world record, covering the distance of 20,151 km without refueling. The flight took 25 hours and 30 minutes. The takeoff weight was 455,000 kg. In July 1985, an An-124 carried 171,219 kg of cargo to an altitude of 2,000 am and 170,000 kg to an altitude of 10,750 am. An An-124 was used to transport the obelisk of Exum back to its native homeland of Ethiopia from Rome in April 2005. An An-124 was used to transport an EP-3E Ares II electronic intelligence aircraft from Hainan Island, China on July 4, 2001 following the Hainan Island incident. In July 2010, an An-124 was used to transport 4 35-foot and 3 21-foot skimmer boats from France to the USA to assist with the cleanup of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. An An-124 was used in April 2011 to airlift a large piezometer concrete pump from Germany to Japan to help cool reactors damaged in the Fukushima nuclear accident. The An-225 was used to transport an even larger pump to Japan from the United States. Variants: An-124 Ruslan, strategic heavy airlift transport aircraft, An-124-100, commercial transport aircraft, An-124-100 M150, commercial transport version fitted with Western avionics, An-124-102, commercial transport version with an EFIS flight deck, An-124-130, proposed version, An-124-135, variant with 1 seat in the rear and the rest of the cargo area dedicated to freight, An-124-150, planned new variant. With several new features, An-124-200, proposed version with General Electric CF6-80C2 engines, each rated at 59,200 pound forces, and An-124-210, joint proposal with airfoil to meet UK's short-term strategic airlifter requirement, with Rolls-Royce RB211-524HT engines, each rated 60,600 pound forces, and Honeywell Avionics Euro STSA competition abandoned in August 1999, reinstated, and won by the Boeing C-17A. An-124-300, variant ordered by the Russian Air Force with new avionics, a new improved braking system and a payload of 150 tons. Operators: Military, Russian Air Force, Military Transport Aviation, 12th Military Transport Air Division, a Eurotver. 566th Military Transport Air Regiment, a Euro Seshka, Bryansk Oblast, a Euro Il-76, and 124. 224th Air Detachment of Military Transport Aviation Euro-TVER Euro An-124-100, Il-76MD. Former military operators, a Soviet Union, Soviet Air Force, Civil. In July 2013, 26 An-124s were in commercial service. A Libya, Libyan Arab Air Cargo, a Russia, Volga Dnepr, Polet Airlines, a Ukraine, Antonov Airlines, a United Arab Emirates, Maximus Air Cargo, former civil operators, a Russia, Aeroflot Russian International Airlines, retired from fleet in 2000, Ajax, Russian State Transport Company, retired from fleet, Transaero Airlines, retired from fleet, a Soviet Union, Aeroflot Soviet Airlines, transferred to Aeroflot Russian Fleet, a United Kingdom, Airfoil Euro joint venture dissolved 2006, Heavy Lift Cargo Airlines, ceased operations 2006, Antonov Airtrack, ceased operations, Titan Cargo a Euro company ceased operations 2002, Trans-Charter Titan Cargo. Ceased operations 2003, notable accidents, as of 2011, 4 An-124 hull loss accidents have been recorded, with a total of 97 fatalities. On October 13, 1992, SSR 82002, operated by Antonov Airlines crashed near Kiev, Ukraine during flight testing. 8 fatalities. On November 15, 1993, RA82071, operated by Aviastar Airlines crashed into a mountain at 11,000 feet while in a holding pattern at Kerman, Iran. 17 fatalities. On October 8, 1996, RA82069, owned by Aeroflot but operated by Ajax, crashed at San Francesco El Campo, Italy, while initiating a go-around after a low-visibility approach on Turin-Caselle Airport's runway 36. 4 fatalities. On December 6, 1997, RA82005, operated by the Russian Air Force, crashed in a residential area after takeoff in Irkutsk, Russia. All 23 people on board and 44 people on the ground were killed. Specifications. Data from Antonov.com, General Characteristics, Crew, 4 Euro 6 plus 2 Load Masters, Capacity, 88 passengers or the hold can take an additional 350 on a palletized seating system, Payload, 150,000 kilograms, Length, 68.96 meters, Wingspan, 73.3 m, Height, 20.78 m, Wing Area, 628 mass squared, Empty Weight, 175,000 kilograms, Loaded Weight, 405,000 kilograms, Useful Load, 230,000 kilograms, Max Takeoff Weight, 405,000 kilograms, Power Plant, 4A. Ivchenko Progress D18T turbofans, 229.5 kilonewtons each. Performance, maximum speed, 865 km/h, cruise speed, 800 Euro 850 km/h, range, 5,200 km, service ceiling, 12,000 m, wing loading, 365 kg mass squared, thrust weight, 0.23, takeoff run distance, 2,520 am, landing roll distance at maximum landing weight, 900 am, flight range, and 124-100, 0 tons of cargo equals 15,000 km, 10 tons of cargo equals 14,100 km, 20 tons of cargo equals 13,250 km, 30 tons of cargo equals 12,300 km, 40 tons of cargo equals 11,500 km, 72 tons of cargo equals 8,700 km, 90 tons of cargo equals 7,100 km, 97 tons of cargo equals 6,500 km, 104 tons of cargo equals 5,900 km. 108 tons of cargo equals 5,550 km, 120 tons of cargo equals 4,500 km, THN 124-100 THO 150, 40 tons of cargo equals 11,900 km, 92 tons of cargo equals 7,500 km, 113 tons of cargo equals 5,900 km, 120 tons of cargo equals 5,400 km, 122 tons of cargo equals 5,200 km, 150 tons of cargo equals 3,200 km, see also. Related development, Antonov An-225, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Airbus A380-800F, Boeing 747-400F, Boeing 747-8F, Lockheed C-5 Galaxy, Sukhoi Ka-860, footnotes. References. External links, Antonov An-124 page on the Antonov site, Aviastar SP, a Euro manufacturer of the An-124 in Russia, Avian to Euro manufacturer of the An-124 in Ukraine, Antonov An-124 on aero-enthusiast.com, Walkaround An-124-100 RA82041, number 9,773,054,055,089 at MAKS 2009. Second Walkaround, AN-124 specifications in comparison to other air cargo aircraft, 30 years since. The AN-124 Ruslan maiden takeoff, Antonov's Giant, the An-124 Ruslan, virtual loading by Volga DNEPR.